does help me speak to predestination. What God is doing in the verses of the Bible where it thinks like He's destined people. Ephesians 1 has that language where He's predestined. Romans 8 has predestined. He foreknew you. He predestined you. Then He called you, justified you, glorified you. That is not predestination in the sense that He's choosing one person over the other. What it means is before the cross, before Jesus rose from the dead to actually provide the salvation, that if you believe the pre-gospel, if you believe the Savior was to come, then God has predestined you to that event. He foreknew you. In other words, this is happening before the cross. So then, once Jesus' blood, again, this is 25, whom God has set forth to be a propitiation through faith in His blood, to declare His righteousness for the remissions of sins that are past. So picture Jesus rising from the dead 2,000 years ago, but there's 4,000 years of human history before that. That's the sins that are past. So all those people during that 4,000 years who believed in a Savior to come, they're predestined to that event. It doesn't mean they're all saved, doesn't mean they're all lost. It means those who chose to believe the promises God made, that once Jesus rose up from the dead, that's when He took captivity captive. That's when He cleared out Abraham's bosom. The thief who believed Jesus on the cross said, "Today you'll be with me in paradise." He went to Abraham's bosom. Jesus drops into hell to suffer for the sins of mankind. Then when Jesus is raised, He takes all those people out of paradise and into heaven, because now they have spiritual life. So He predestined them to that event if they believed. That's what it means by remissions of sins that are past. Then it says through the forbearance of God. So think about this for a second. Here God, 4,000 years of human history has gone on and people are sinning left and right. Everybody's born spiritually dead. Nobody can keep the law. They don't have anything to keep it with. They're spiritually dead as a doornail. But God overlooked all that 4,000 years of sin to pour out that righteous blood on Calvary, and then everyone who believed it, then all those people then before who were predestinated and whom God foreknew before, again, this is Romans 8. I probably should have had you read it. My bad on that. But you're familiar with these verses. If you're still listening to my video, you know that verse is in there in Romans 8. So He predestinated them to that event. So it proves to them something. Wow, God tolerated sinning human history for 4,000 years until this moment where He could declare His righteousness, where He could be just and a justifier in providing salvation for men. That's what that means in Romans 8 when it says people were predestinated and foreknown and then called and then justified and glorified. Now us born on this side of the cross, of course we get born again to actual righteousness. But like He said to Abraham, when Abraham believed God and God accounted it to him for righteousness. So that was kind of a righteousness on credit.